All right, fellas, it's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown. This time going up north, checking out the Packers Raiders. Obviously, everybody knows the game in Canada was an absolute circus. Playing in mud, I guess the field was trashed, so they had to shorten the field, which is kind of a joke, to be honest with you. It's kind of embarrassing for the NFL to have that happen, and for the CFL, to be honest. But hey, you know what? Who cares? Still football on, so everybody's happy. Like what LaFleur did and what he said about not playing the starters because they were going to get reps, just not a good feeling in his gut. Totally respect that as a coach. I think he made the right decision, but still there's some good film that I can break down for you guys. And I haven't really been able to focus on the defense or the running game because I've been looking at third down packages and other stuff that LaFleur was doing. So now I think that there's a great opportunity to do that. So for starters, checking out a couple of guys on this play. Raiders are going to run a wide zone to the top, okay? Now, it's to the weak side of this, right? They motion their tight end over, which bumped the Packers into an overfront. Now, for those of you who don't know, an overfront is just a three-tech from this defensive tackle, and a three-tech from the defensive tackle to the side of the strength, which is going to be to the offense's left, defense's right, okay? Now, your nose tackle is going to be in a one-tech on the outside shoulder of the center to the top. Then obviously you have your two edge defenders. The Packers are in a nickel package, so you got your two backers, and you bring your safety down into the box. There's your nickel corner. So, like I said before, the Raiders are going to run wide zone to the top, and I want to take a look at Rashan Gary on this play and then one other guy, all right? But Rashan Gary's got to have better awareness when he gets into the league. As an edge defender, it's difficult because when you see wide zone, there could be a boot action off of it, and that could ruin your day as an edge defender. Right, but see how he just is head down straight down the line of scrimmage. There's actually a pretty good schemed up play from the Raiders. Their H-back or their tight end kind of looped back into the backfield and then came upfield for a cut right there. That's a great schemed up play. But I think Rashan Gary, you got to have a little bit better awareness on plays like this. Got to be ready to play the cut. But I think besides that, he's doing a good job. Maybe have a little bit more of a motor, get down that line of scrimmage and try and make a play. Like I said, you kind of get in that weird gray area as an edge defender with trying to be aware of that boot action off of it. Now, the other guy that I want to take a look at is this Mike linebacker, number 44. I'm not going to lie, a horrible job by him on this play. All right, now you have your first linebacker out here who's going to come up top and be that force defender. He has to be coming underneath this and trying to knife in and make a play and watch what happens. He just kind of feathers over straight down the line where he's at, right? Not down the line of scrimmage, but straight parallel to it at about 4 yards. Horrible job by a linebacker, man. You got to be knifing in up here and trying to make a play on this from the backside. This backer is going to be responsible for anything up top. You have to be the force player coming down from the backside on this. Instead, he kind of works just behind his defensive lineman and then is there to clean up the mess, I guess, a little bit when 36 comes to make a play. Now, I know the Packers are thin at linebacker. I know the Packers are thin, but those are just a couple of things that I wanted to point out that they weren't doing too well on that in this first series. All right, fellas, second play here that I wanted to check out. This one's just kind of focusing on Rashan Gary and letting you guys know what the Packers are doing defensively. All that's happening here, we got 3rd and 6, so we're going, it looks like they got a dime package in there with defensive backs, just wheeled down one of their safeties into the box. Now, Rashan Gary is going to be obviously pass rushing on this play, working upfield, and this is a quick ball that gets out soon. So, but there's still something that I want to show you guys about his pass rush. So, when you're working as an edge defender and you're rushing the ball on something like this, right? He works upfield and this tackle's kick stepping out to him, okay? Now, he does a good job working and getting those tackles that his shoulders turn just a little bit. But instead of engaging with them head on and trying to bull rush, I think that he needs to work to this outside edge and press that shoulder back in, because what happens when you do that, right? As a tackle, you turn your shoulders and you're shuffling out to this guy. That's the last thing you want. What you want is your shoulders and hips turn toward the line of scrimmage and kick stepping back, because it creates a hard edge for this defender to get to. Now, when he opens his shoulders like this, I think Rashan Gary needs to get on this outside shoulder and press that soft edge right into the quarterback. See how he just kind of works to his midline and then gets too far upfield? kind of not a recipe for disaster, but again, you're not going to be able to really do anything with that pass rush. If he stems this thing upfield right now, kind of tries to show that he's trying to get into a race with this tackle, beating him on a soft edge, and then knifes that thing right through that shoulder pad, I think that he could get a pressure on this play, and it could up his pass rush game. Now, again, I know the kid's a rookie. I'm not trying to rip him. I'm just letting you know some things that might be in his bag later on. Down the line this season. There's definitely some good stuff we saw out of Rashan Gary. And then this is a solid play by 36. I don't know if he's a rookie or not, but he's just manned up in coverage on Luke Wilson here. Good job following, trailing, getting that outside arm in front and that inside arm behind, ready to rip that ball out. But again, the Rashan Gary thing, he's got, don't take it personally, he's got a lot of upside. I'm not trying to rip him, just some stuff that he could definitely do better. That's all. All right, fellas, first offensive play I'm breaking down for you guys. Kind of unique here. The Raiders are showing a double A-gap look. Now, this is kind of becoming more popular and has been over the last 4 or 5 years when you're in pass rushing situations. All that's happening with the defense, I'll break that down first. All that's happening with the defense is you got your defensive tackles lined up in wide threes, okay? You see a lot of teams do this. The only reason why they're lining their guys up in wide threes is because you want to take the center out of the pass protection. You essentially eliminate alignment from pass protection when you just create man one-on-one battles on the outside, right? Now, what they've been doing is they bring up both backers in the A gaps here, and you can do one of a couple of things defensively, right? You can rush one, drop the other. You can drop both of them. I remember seeing New England do this, and I don't remember if that was the first time that it was done, but that was like the first time that I saw it, and it is smart to do, right? Because there's a lot of things you can do out of it, create a mental challenge for this quarterback back here. But what happens on this play, right? Raiders are going to rush. They're going to bring one backer and drop the backer to the side of the three receiver side, right? Which is pretty standard. You're not going to drop this backer into open space. You want to drop him to stay in front of 3, all right? And in this situation, he's basically manned up with 3. But again, what the Packers run on this, right? Number 3 is going to run like a whip route, right? He's going to come in, press the inside, and then come back outside. And then I believe you get either a dig or a vertical from him, and you definitely get a vertical from number 1. So let's see how they run it on this play. Cuts it inside, presses that hip of the linebacker, and then gets back outside. Definitely not a bad route by him. It's where you want to go with the ball, so you can't hate that either. And then coverage-wise, it's just straight man coverage across the board. It looks like we had a drop at the top of this play here. Yeah, 32 drops just in case they're trying to tap something backside. That's actually a cool idea. So what happened on this, just so you guys can see my thought process. 32 is lined up as kind of the edge rusher on this play, and then you got this dude who's lined up way off. Now, most quarterbacks, when they see this, they'll tap this guy on a deep curl or a deep out, something that's quick hitter because he's got so much space to work with. What the Raiders do is they drop 32 right underneath that in that hook curl area, in case they do try to run anything like that. Kind of a cool little wrinkle they put into their offense. But again, that's what you get when you get this double A gap stuff. Not a bad call offensively. One spot you can go with the ball, it's right there. It looks like 10 was running kind of a curl on that. One spot you can go with the ball, it's right there. Unfortunately, can't make the catch. Live to fight another down. All right, fellas, next defensive snap here that I wanted to point out for you guys. Again, I'm not stoked with where the Packers linebackers are at. That's something that worries me for that defense. All that happens here, and I'm going to break this down for you again, the Raiders are going to run a wide zone to the top of the formation here, motioning Luke Wilson across. They got 22 personnel, so you're kind of evened up top. But what you do when you do that is you create a dead side. It's going to push off that corner, force an edge defender to come down. But what the Packers bump into here is what's called a bear front, all right? And a bear front is just a nose tackle that's going to be head up on the center. In this situation, it looks like he's shaded to the top of the formation. You're going to have another defensive tackle down here who's going to be in a 3-tech on the guard, and then this defensive tackle is going to be in 3-tech on the other guard, and then you have your 2 edge defenders right here. And then, of course, 2 backers in the box. That's your classic bear front. You'll see it all over the NFL. And a lot of times, sometimes, right, you'll have, this could be a backer who's standing up, and this could be a defensive lineman. They'll mess around with it, but at the end of the day, it boils down to a bear front. Now, with this play, number 90, the nose tackle, makes an outstanding play on this, right? Off the ball quick, beating that center to the play side and getting an arm on that tackle. That's an extraordinary effort by 90 on that play to get a cross face on that. Great job, great quickness, bringing down the back, but it's still for like a 2 or 3 yard gain, right? And the thing that bugs me about this is it's the backers again, right? Your backers need to be flying down there, and they're just kind of gliding over to where they think the gap is going to be. You got to be down there now. You don't have time to mess around with it. And again, yeah, it's 2nd and 5, could be a play action, but you got guys in the secondary that are there to help out with that. You got to be flying around, making sure that they don't get any yards on a play like this, and making a statement, right? They're just kind of gliding over to the gap. And again, I don't know if these are the starters. They could not be the starters, and I could sound kind of like an ass, and I'm sorry if I do. And those aren't the starters, but it's just something that I think is a worry for the Packers, and it's something that they definitely need to improve on. But again, the defensive line effort out of 90 on this play is definitely something that needs to be noticed and needs to be brought up. Just a great job, man. Beating him to the play side, getting an arm on the tackle. Good job by 90 on that one. All right, fellas, a 3rd and 8 here. And a twist that I wanted to show you guys, because this is some awesome stuff on 3rd down. Now, when you look at why New England had such a good run last year, and you think about defensively what they're doing, their twist packages on 3rd down was what kept them going and what brought pressure on a quarterback. Now, here's what the Packers are going to run with this, okay? Like I said before, remember when I said essentially you can have a bare front even if a backer's down? That's exactly what's happening here. They bring their backer down. He's going to be that nose tackle. You have your 2 3 techs, and then you have your 2 edge defenders. You're pressing outside here. You're pressing the point man up top, and then he's taking care of that. His eyes are kind of dropping back into a cover 1, or actually, no, excuse me. He's going to be here on Luke Wilson, and then you have your backer matched up with your back. That's what's going to happen coverage-wise. Now, what's happening up front, right, is you're getting influence right here with your Mike backer on this center. This end is going to rush straight through that guard, okay? Through that tackle, and that backer is now rushing from that center into that left guard, and then you're going to twist Rashan Gary inside, right? And all that you're doing is you're opening up the line of scrimmage, right? And then you're plugging in a backer, plugging in the twist guy. Okay, so watch one more time here. We're going to get the Mike backer who's going to run to the left shoulder of the center, and he's just going to grab onto the guard. I don't care if it's holding, just grab on. And you're going to do the same thing with the center. You're going to grab both of them and hold them close to you so that you can make room for the twister. Okay, now this defensive end is going to rush straight through that tackle, and then we're going to have Rashan Gary twist through. Okay, now up top, you're going to have this this tackle rush through this guard, and you're going to have this edge rusher just come through the tackle. Okay, so what you essentially do is you split the line of scrimmage, and then you rush with your twister. Now watch how it shakes down. Okay, you have both backer and defensive tackle making contact. Now you have 3 guys taking care of 2, and then you twist Rashan Gary in there. He's on a back. He's at least going to get a hand in on that play. Good job. I love the defensive call. Obviously, the coverage needs to be there, but this is a great defensive call, and it's something that you'll end up getting pressure with. All right. Now, what the Raiders run to really make room on this and to make a play is they push upfield with their number 1, or their number 2. Right. These 2 receivers are basically stacked. They push upfield with him, and then they run just a little in route with their number 2 guy. Okay. Watch as he pushes upfield. It's really kind of like a pick route. It basically is a pick route, right? Some sloppy tackling, and they have themselves a first down. But again, the defensive line twist and the rush, I liked all of that. So it's definitely a positive to take away on this play. The coverage just needs to be there as well. All right, fellas, breaking into the Packers running game a little bit. Something that's become very prevalent in the NFL is, I'm going to try this again. Restart it. All right, fellas, I'm going to break down a little bit of the Packers running game for you now. Something that's become pretty prevalent in the NFL is weak side, outside zone, all right, with a lead. Okay, so here we have 21 personnel from the Packers, and all that's going to happen is the Packers are going to run a wide zone to the top here, but how they're going to run it, right, and it's to the weak side of the formation, and when you get a 4-man front and you have that over to the strength, right, it's an over front, so it's already, we know that's to the strength. What you get is you get a gap in between the tackle and the center. And this is something that I kind of was thinking about when I was coaching and still am coaching, is that when you run an over or an under front for that matter, you leave a gap from your edge rusher to this one tech. There's a massive gap there that you need to expose. So what teams are doing now is they're running wide zone to that, and here's how it shakes down. The tackle is going to be out on that edge rusher. Your guard and your center are working to the Mike backer, and you're leading up with the fullback onto this outside backer here. Okay, now on the backside, your guard and your tackle are working that 3-tech to the weak side backer, to the will. Okay, so watch how this shakes down. It ends up being a good play for the Packers, right? Good job by the tackle working out on that end. That's exactly what you want. Now your center and your guard, because they're working to the Mike backer, it's an easier angle for them to get to. Center works up. Great job getting his head play side. Not in the best position here. You'd like to see a little bit more of a base. But now your fullback works up, kicks out on that outside backer who came to fill, and you have yourself a nice little running lane. So a good job from the Packers on this wide zone. I definitely think it's something that they'll go back to. It's an easy play to run, and honestly, you're kind of stealing from the defense when they want to do this. But that weak side, outside zone with the lead is becoming more and more prevalent in the NFL, and you're going to see it. It's going to stay that way until defenses do something about it. All right, fellas, next play that I want to break down for you here. I love when offenses do this out of the gun with a wing. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a inside zone to the left look from the offensive line. All right, now usually when you block inside zone and you wham it, right, because a wham is just when the H-back comes across the formation and basically kicks out the end man on the line of scrimmage. That's called a wham. When you get that action, a lot of times backers will trigger, right, and they'll come upfield. But I love the fact that the Packers get creative with how they block this, okay? So again, you're getting an over front to the strength of the formation to the H-back. That's been determined that the Raiders call the strength of the formation to the tight end to the H, all right? So what's going to happen with this inside zone? Your tackle is going to work out on the edge, right? Your guard is going to work out in the 3-tech. Your center and your backside guard are going to combo to the play side backer to 54. All right, now usually your tackle steps down and works up to 53 when you wham, but here's the little wrinkle that they put in this. The tackle is going to work out on this edge defender, and you're essentially going to ISO 53. Watch how it works here, right? Great job comboing. Got to work up to that second level. Good job by 62, right? And you guys see where this gap is supposed to be, and this is my biggest gripe with this play is your running back, number 32. You have to read this right. Where are you going? You need to cut this. This is a designed cutback play. You need to cut this thing back and put your foot in the ground and get upfield. Instead, he buries his head and tries to go in between the center and guard. This would make me lose my mind on the sidelines, right? And I know it's preseason. I don't know if this guy's high up on the depth chart or not. I see the Carson kid getting a ton of carries in the preseason, okay? But it'll be Aaron Jones once you guys go regular season. But you have to read this right. Look at the gap. That's right here. If he cuts this thing here where it's supposed to, this kid's still running. Right, and this is why some preseason guys, they're not going to make the roster because you have to be able to show you when you got the mental capacity to do this. This is blocked up very well by the offensive line. 62 does a good job getting up to the opposite backer. Your H-backs leading up on this ISO essentially, or this different wham, is a really good job. And your back just kills the play by stuffing his head in between the center and guard. Unfortunately, that's what happens on this play. So once again, though, there's a good wrinkle and there's a good play call. I like this. I like where the running game is at. There's a couple more things that they could do, but I definitely think that it's better than expected. All right, fellas, last play that I want to break down for you guys. Packers essentially in the red zone. I think that you would, if you're calling a defense, you'd call this as a red zone play here. 3rd down and 3. Raiders are just going straight cover 1 on this. Straight cover 1, okay? So you're going to have your corner pressed up top with this receiver, and you can see how we're manned up down here, right? The reason why this guy's closer to the line of scrimmage is because this is called your point man, as when you get into a 3-receiver side. This is your point man. All that's going to happen from this is the Packers are going to run a hinge protection. Now a hinge protection is when half of the line from the center to the left tackle in this situation is slide protecting. Your backside guard and backside tackle are man protecting, and your back is going to be responsible for the blitz, right? Any blitz that comes up the middle, he's going to read inside out with his eyes, and he does a good job picking up the blitz on this play. Now what you're going to get from the receivers is you're going to get a in route from number 3, you're going to get an in route from number 2, and you're going to get an in and go from number 1. All right, now the double move by number 1 down here is what makes this play. A very good job by him, right? You come up, study your feet, turns his shoulders in really quick, gives him a quick jab step, and then gets vertical, gets to that side pylon, does a good job making a play on this ball. Of course, he catches it inside the 10, and that's a touchdown. It looks weird to me. But again, really good job on this, turning his shoulders, giving them that stutter step, and then going up and making a play on the ball. Good ball from that quarterback too. But again, something I do want to highlight is the offensive line's protection on this. Watch how the C's open right here, right? We're slide protecting off from the center over to the left tackle, sliding. Running back does a great job coming up, sticking his nose in there, picking up that blitz, giving your Q time to make the play on that. I love that. That's a really good job by the offensive line in the back. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe. Trying to grow the channel before regular season hits. And Packers fans, you guys have been awesome to me. So I love you guys. Definitely getting a little bit more love for the boys up north. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative. And I'll see you in the next one.